She packed light. Just a small carry-on, some high heels, a red dress I'd never seen her wear before, and perfume that lingered in the air like a promise she hadn't made to me. When I raised my eyebrows, she smiled, wide, rehearsed, almost too polished. "I'm going to Vegas with the girls," she said, kissing my cheek like an afterthought. "Don't be controlling." That line hit me like a warning dressed as a joke. I wasn't controlling, I was cautious. Observant. I knew how Vegas worked, knew the stories people didn't tell, and knew the silence that followed them. But I nodded anyway and forced a chuckle. You can't argue with someone who's already made up their mind. She left on a Thursday. The apartment suddenly echoed. Empty wine glasses, a blanket still holding her perfume, and the silence of someone not planning to call. I gave her space. I didn't text. I didn't ask for updates. I trusted her, or at least I tried to. That night, I watched her story pop up on my phone. She was at a rooftop bar, neon lights dancing on her skin, holding a cocktail with her perfectly polished nails. Her caption read, "Deserve this face-blowing a kiss, #girls trip, #no drama just vibes." I recognized two of her friends, but there were others too. Strangers. Men. One of them had his arm around her waist. Just a second in the story, easy to miss. But I didn't miss it. I waited for her to post more. By midnight, another video. Her dancing. Close. Too close. Bodies moving like they weren't strangers. Her smile was wide, wild. Nothing like the soft one she gave me before leaving. And then, in a flicker of motion, it was hard to tell, his lips brushed her neck. I stared at the screen, rewinding, slowing the frame down like some desperate investigator in a crime doc. But deep down I already knew. The next morning, I sent a casual, "Hope you're having fun," text. She replied 4 hours later with a blurry group photo and, "Love you babe kiss mark," like nothing had happened. I told myself not to spiral. I told myself to wait until she got home and talk to her. But the stories kept coming. And each one told me more than her texts ever could. Saturday night she didn't post. No pictures. No updates. Nothing. That silence? It told me everything. I didn't sleep. I sat in the kitchen, staring at the phone, convincing myself I was imagining it all. That I was being paranoid. That maybe I was being controlling, just like she said. But the truth has a way of bleeding through your doubts. On Sunday morning, she messaged, "Flight delayed. Back tonight." She walked in around 8 p.m., suitcase rolling behind her, sunglasses on despite the dusk. She smiled like someone who'd just returned from a spa, not a battlefield. I helped her with her bag, forced my voice to stay even. "How was it?" "Amazing," she said, flopping onto the couch. "We danced all night, laughed till we cried. I missed you." That last line nearly cracked me. I wanted to believe her. But her eyes were tired in a guilty way, not a fun way. I didn't confront her. Not yet. That night, while she was in the shower, her phone buzzed on the nightstand. Normally, I wouldn't look. But this wasn't normal anymore. The screen lit up with a message. "Let me know if you ever come back to Vegas, face blowing a kiss." No name. Just a number. I froze. The water in the shower kept running like white noise over a scream. I opened the chat. Pictures. Messages. Videos. She wasn't just dancing. She wasn't just drinking. She had spent the night with someone. More than one night. She told him about me mockingly. He called me the boring boyfriend. They laughed about me trying to call her Friday night. She hadn't answered because they were in bed. The air drained from the room. I felt like I was watching someone else's life implode. I didn't shout. I didn't cry. I closed the phone, stood up, and waited for her to come out of the shower. She emerged in a towel, humming a song she must have danced to with him. "Hey," I said quietly, "can we talk?" She looked at me, and in her eyes I saw it just for a flicker. That dread. That realization that I knew. I held up her phone and whispered, "Who is he?" Her silence stretched like a wire pulled too tight. Then, it was just a fling. It didn't mean anything. It was Vegas. I was drunk. It was stupid. But you don't smile like that in videos for someone who means nothing. You don't save their number. You don't joke about the person waiting at home. I wanted to scream. I wanted to throw something. But I didn't. Instead, I stood up, went to the closet, pulled out the small wooden box I'd kept hidden. Inside was a ring. I'd been planning to propose. After all the years. After all the ups and downs. I handed her the box. She opened it, and her face crumbled. "Is this a joke?" she whispered. "No," I said. "It was your future. Until you traded it for one weekend of attention." Her eyes filled with tears. "It didn't mean anything. It meant enough that you lied. And mocked me while doing it." She reached for my hand. I stepped back. "You told me not to be controlling," I said. "So I won't be. I won't tell you to stay. I won't tell you to explain. I won't tell you how much you broke me. But I will tell you this. Go back to Vegas. Go back to him. Go back to whatever made you forget what we had." She sobbed. Collapsed onto the couch. But I didn't stay to comfort her. I packed a bag, took the ring, and walked out. Weeks passed. She texted, called, apologized, claimed it was a one-time mistake, said she loved me, but she never asked why I never got angry, because she didn't deserve my rage. She deserved my absence. Some betrayals don't need vengeance, just distance. Now every time she posts a story, I don't watch. But I hope she sees mine. Because I'm smiling too. Not to make her jealous. But because I finally remembered who I was before she made me question everything. And this time, I won't forget again.